Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is John Ross with the XP commentary for May 23, 2020. And we're going to comment today on remembering on Memorial Day. That's the comment we're going to be talking about. I hope you've had a good day. It's a nice day outside here, 76, and those clouds finally removed and got outside. I have to do a walk here. I haven't done that. I did do some grocery shopping early this morning and got out, and with my mask, of course, and social distancing. And I hope that's what you're doing this weekend too, with your family and friends. Wearing that mask, keep social distancing. Be sure to wash your hands. We got to keep up the vigilance here against our enemy, COVID-19. So we're going to talk now a little about Memorial Day, and that's this weekend. Coming Monday is Memorial Day, and I'm going to go through a little brief history here. We're going to have a little history lesson here. I'm going to bring up some history here. I want to pull myself down here, and we're going to bring up a little history here of Memorial Day. This is from a Google. This is a Google search, and it comes up about history.com would say Memorial Day 2020 occurs on Monday, May 25, originally known as Decoration Day. It originated years following the Civil War and became officially a federal holiday in 1971. Many Americans observe Memorial Day by visiting cemeteries or memorials or holding family gatherings and participating in parades. Well, some of this is on hold, of course, because of the coronavirus situation. And here's what Wikipedia says on the matter. We're going to get this down so you can see that. We're going to get it down here. We're going to get Wikipedia. Where'd my Wikipedia go here? Okay, here's Wikipedia. Memorial Day, previously but seldom called Decoration Day, is a federal holiday in the United States for honoring and mourning military personnel who died while serving in the United States Armed Forces. The holiday is now observed on the last Monday, having been observed on May 30th from 1868 to 1970. My one friend Tom told me next year that this is going to be on the latest we can have a Memorial Day. This is the earliest with the Monday situation. Next year it'll be at the end. So it'll be on May 30th next year at the end of the year. So we're so proud of Memorial Day and what it means for our country. Going to get back here, excuse me. We're back now. Sorry about that. Memorial Day is so important to our country, and I'm going to bring up some other things here about Memorial Day, and we're going to put this. I hope we can see that on the side there. I'm going to be in the middle here. We're going to remember Memorial Day for those who've died in the last year. We've always done that. My church. Sometimes we do it at All Saints Day and November 1st, but sometimes we do it on Memorial Day. Remember those. I remember a few in the last few weeks. My friend Tom. I know Wally was one, and yesterday the burial of Ronald Hicks. So these have passed since last year. I know there's others, so we can remember people that way. But Memorial Day is, as it's stated there, is a remembrance of those who made the ultimate sacrifice. And I want to bring up this year our frontline workers who made the ultimate sacrifice. Most of them have been in Chicago, out of state, not in our Fox Valley area. It's very grateful for that. But there have been many medical EMTs, fire, police, nurses, healthcare workers, doctors who have paid the ultimate sacrifice to try to stop this COVID-19. And we also have our frontliners at the grocery stores, the meat packing plants we've talked about in the past who've lost lives. And I mean, these are essential workers. They're on the front line. Postal workers, other delivery people, pharmacies, and like I said, grocery stores. So these frontline workers should be honored in this war against COVID-19. And the president's even called it a war. So that is one group that we should remember this Memorial Day. And we should remember all those our troops who passed in combat in our war on terror. Now that's a broad term, and we know that. So we wish we didn't have these wars. We should have declared wars, in my opinion. And some of these, there's the only declared war was way back to World War II. So, and we have the Iraq War. Now, I want to bring up some statistics here. In the Iraq War, we know that 4,500 passed away as troops on that. And then I didn't put it in here, but it's similar. The Afghan situation happened at about the same time, and it's still going on. That's 2,200 of our servicemen have passed away in the Afghanistan situation. Then we had the Gulf War, which lost around 300. That was before the Iraq War in the 90s. Then, of course, we had Vietnam, which brought a lot of grief to a lot of people. And I want to bring up a couple people that I knew on the fringes a little. One was Martin Johnson, who was a year ahead of me in school. I know Mayor Schulke's got more reminiscence of him because he was in his class in Batavia. So Martin Johnson was one who made the ultimate sacrifice in Vietnam. Another one was David Fletcher, who I briefly knew, I believe. I knew his brother at a church in Geneva that they went to called Calvary Baptist. And David made the ultimate sacrifice. He lived in the Highlands and went to Geneva High School. Highlands in Batavia is a section where Batavians go to Geneva School. And so those are two people that passed away making the ultimate sacrifice. Then we had the Korean War, which I know many of you have relatives who've been in that, and many of them are starting to pass away. And we have World War II, which there's not many veterans left to be in the 90s. I know Bob Dole's one senator. There's others. And I know you might have loved ones who were in World War II. And let me bring that up. Vietnam had 58,000 deaths. And these are deaths with civilians, too, that part of the war effort, too. And in Korea, we had around 36,000 and a half, 500 that were total deaths there. Then we go on to the big one, World War II, which saw over 405,000 deaths in America. And, many of our parents and other loved ones were involved in the war. My dad made a sacrifice another way. He was a farmer, and that was an essential worker then. And I know others were essential in making stuff in the country here to keep our country going in production plants and things like that. And then there was World War I, which was about 116, a little more, 116,500 were passed away in that situation. Some called that the war to end all wars, but that wasn't true. And then later in the 1890s, we have the Spanish-American War and the Philippine-American War. I almost forgot about the Philippine. 2,400 died in the Spanish-American War, and the Philippine, about 4,200. and they're a little lost in my mind. I know Teddy Roosevelt was in the Spanish-American War and fought in San Juan, Puerto Rico on that one. Then the Civil War was the big one, and that's why we have Memorial Day. That was in honor of the soldiers who passed away there and other loved ones. About 655,000 is the approximate number of people that died, servicemen and others, Confederate and Union, and that. And that's a big one. It is a big one, and that's brought up Memorial Day to remember those who passed there. And then there was the War of 1812. It was about 15,000 there. I almost forgot that one. And then our founding war, the Revolutionary War, about 25,000 there. And then of course, there's been other wars that were not on this list that we, minor incursions, others. I mean, these are the major ones, but there's others that where people have made that sacrifice for our country. So I just wanted to thank all our servicemen in the past who've helped us and our current COVID-19 workers who've made the sacrifice too. And that's what I'm honoring today. And I hope you can honor them and just remember those workers and those veterans too, but remember those who paid the price for our country. That's our commentary there. And then on Monday, I'm going to get this back here, excuse me. We run everything here. On Monday at 5, we're going to have Darren Johnson on Memorial Day Family Focus. He's going to comment about what they're doing and where they're going. And I think it'll be an interesting interview. So I encourage you to listen to that. And then finally, I just want to wish you all a great weekend and Godspeed and just keep safe. Remember, keep safe. Wash hands, social distancing of 6 feet, wearing that mask when you're out in public gatherings. We just have to keep this virus away. It's a wicked guy, this virus. So I just wish you all well out there. So all I can say right now is God bless and bye-bye.